How long can we do it? How long can we go on spending beyond our means? I just wonder. Until we're no longer the reserve currency. How long will that take at the current clip? I don't know. It depends on the other countries, really, who are, if any of them are managing their fiscal policy better than ours. How long can we go on spending beyond our means until the welfare benefits that the Democrats are so concerned about here today mean absolutely nothing because of inflation? It's already happening. I think it's been mentioned here today how much SNAP pays per meal for a meal. I don't know if the number was correct. It was something like $2. $2 doesn't go very far today. Thanks to what we have done here in Congress, thanks to the spending we have undertaken without doing anything to pay for it. How long can we go on spending beyond our means before it all crashes or before we get into hyperinflation? I think the irresponsible thing to do is to raise the debt limit without taking any measures to take us off of this path, this road to hell, paved with great intentions, but with no fiscal responsibility or accountability. If I could offer one amendment to this bill here today, it would be to prevent the Treasury from borrowing this money from the Federal Reserve, who would create it out of thin air. I'm afraid that's going to happen. Some of this will get borrowed from China, and some will get borrowed from Japan, and maybe some from our allies in Europe, and some from our own Social Security funds, and some from Americans who hold wealth. But I am worried that we're going to do, when we raise this debt limit, without sending a signal to the markets that we're serious about taking care of the overall problem, that one of our options, and what may be our only option to make up the difference between how much people want to loan us and how much we need to borrow, is going to be the Federal Reserve creating this money out of thin air. That's what they did during COVID. $5 trillion have been created out of thin air. Now, it shows up on my debt clock as debt, because on the paper, we borrowed it. The Treasury borrowed it from the Federal Reserve, but they borrowed money that didn't exist until the Federal Reserve waved their magic wand and said this exists. So what is the Federal Reserve doing now? They're raising interest rates. Why are they raising interest rates? Because they have to, because they printed so much money. They're trying to get inflation under control. So they, usually, or it's said that when you have a hyperactive economy, you raise interest rates and try to dampen it down. We don't have a hyperactive economy. We have hyperactive inflation at the moment. And so they're throwing a wet blanket on an economy whose principles aren't that great right now. And the very people you're trying to help at the bottom end of the socioeconomic scale, the ones who the biggest portion of their income goes to housing, goes to food, goes to energy, are seeing increases in the cost of those three things because of what we're doing up here. We're just spending, and we're saying it's for their good. It's for the benefit of the people at the lower end of the socioeconomic scale. But most of that COVID money ended up in Wall Street and banks. Yeah, the stock market did fine during COVID. But the people down at the bottom were struggling. After the $1,200 and the $600 and the $1,400 checks ran out, those don't make up for the lost wages that occurred because of inflation. So if I could offer one amendment to this, it would say, when we do raise the debt limit, because it's going to go up, the question is, are we going to do something real to keep from being back here in this same position in a year? My amendment would prevent the Treasury from borrowing money that was just newly created from the Federal Reserve. Hopefully they're not going to do that. But we should be in control of that policy. We say, they should operate independently of the government. Well, they don't operate independently of the Treasury. How does the Fed operate independently of the Treasury? They're calling each each other up every day. Okay, well, I'm going to need you to create another 500 billion today, and then we will borrow it at this rate. They're working hand in glove. They're not an independent agency. They're working hand in glove with the Treasury so they can create money. And you can't create wealth. You can create money, but you can't create prosperity by printing money. Oh, I sit here thinking, what else could we do? We could require the Pentagon to pass an audit. Are they audited? Yeah. Have they ever passed one? No. Where's the money going? That would be a good amendment to offer here. We could offer, we're talking about unobligated funds. I'll yield if you got some more ideas.
I'm happy to support the gentleman on the Defense Department amendment. And I get good news for you. You're on the Rules Committee. You can offer amendments.
Yeah, I think we're offering, since the gentleman's such a strong proponent of regular order, we're going to offer a bipartisan standalone bill to do that and to audit the Pentagon. You may already be on it.
Yeah, I may be. But regular order is also, Rules Committee, you can offer amendments. So I'm happy to support the gentleman on that.
Well, and to the point on regular order, I prefer everything to go through committees as well. But the Democrats' position on the debt limit is it shouldn't go through a committee of jurisdiction. It shouldn't go through the Rules Committee. It shouldn't even be voted on the floor. The Democrat position I've heard is that this is an archaic process that we are undertaking to vote on whether we should issue more debt or encumber that debt, and that it should just be automatic, like deemed to the debt limit to increase whenever we spend money. I thought that was the Democrat position, just to get rid of not just regular order, all order, put it out of order. But here's one of the ideas, and this gets to the unobligated COVID money. I think we should retract the billions of dollars of money flowing to Big Pharma. Look, I just flew from an airport in Miami to D.C. today. Not even 1% are wearing a mask now. And we are still paying for ads. We're still funneling money to Pfizer. They're still being underwritten, hundreds of millions of dollars. Why are we doing that? I think the fact that they're making so much money off of the government is the reason the president insists on keeping the vaccine mandate after the COVID emergency's already been declared over. But that's a place we could save money. Quit spending the COVID emergency money.